From the candy to the costumes, Halloween is a fun-filled time for both parents and kids. Today on City Chat. From Columbus Police, Community Liaison Officers Brian Myers and John Brown are here with us today to discuss some Halloween safety tips to make it a trick-free treat this Halloween. Officer Myers and Brown, thank you so much for coming on to City Chat today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So, this Halloween, we're really excited. We want to hear from Columbus Police on what we need to be looking out for. In the past, there's been candy with like razors and, just things that you wouldn't really imagine that people would do, but are doing. What are some safety tips and what are some of the trends that you guys are seeing this year and what we should be on the lookout for?
One thing that we're seeing, and we get reports periodically from across the country, and then we just had a recent one here, I think close by, was illicit drugs that are made to look like candy. I think the most recent one just a couple weeks ago, the candy was fentanyl, and it was made to look like Nerds and Skittles. And it seems to be the trend that's what they're actually flavoring the fentanyl and making it look like candy that we all eat. And then it's out there. So parents have to be aware that those kind of things are happening, and whether it's intentional or accidental, those are kind of things that parents need to see.
Parents need to inspect the candy as the kids are coming in from trick or treat. And I would suggest that not to allow them to eat anything that doesn't look like it's been commercially packaged.
Okay. So anything that looks commercially packaged, don't.
If it doesn't look like it's been commercially packaged.
Okay.
Or if it looks like it's been packaged in someone's home or someone's made it at the residence, then I would not serve that to my child.
I know that it probably, maybe since you guys are used to it, it doesn't faze you. But like for me, when I think about like the motivations to do that, I just don't understand why someone would want to do that, like endanger children or just, because it kind of takes like a lot of time to like plan that out, and it's just like, can you guys share anything about like your like firsthand experiences dealing with these people that are doing it, or just share some of the stories that you've been around?
I think we all kind of realized that coming out of the pandemic, mental health is an issue right now. And I think that's the kind of people that are going to do those kind of things, whether it's intentional. And in years past, it was always the needles or the razor blades and candy. And now with drugs that you can contaminate candy with, those are the kind of things that mental people do. It's just because mental health issues are so prevalent now, which we see as officers on a daily basis almost. And it's something that you have to kind of consider even more than in years past, that there are people out there that have things going through their head that make them do those kind of things.
Yeah, I really appreciated you kind of just the way that you said that. It wasn't actually very convicting. It was just, like there's a problem with mental health these days. And I think that's really important that people can find resources to get the help that they need. And Officer Brown, like, do you guys, can you talk a little bit about like the penalties if that happen, if you are convicted of drugging candy or passing out dangerous candy?
Well, it would be a assault charge that someone could be charged with for contaminating candy and then serving it to trick-or-treaters. It depends upon the severity, if it is a misdemeanor or a felony, and that would usually determine, the penalties that would be doled out by the judicial system.
Besides, being on the lookout for candy that does not look like it's commercially packaged, can you guys share some safety tips with the public and just really important ones for us to follow?
Yeah, sure. The most basic one, we're all excited, and it's fun time. Trick or treat night is fun. What I found just by doing a little research just this week is that kids are actually 2 times more likely to get hit by a car on trick or treat night. So just basic pedestrian safety rules, they apply on trick or treat night just like they apply on every other night. So use sidewalks, use crosswalks, look both ways. Every kid from the time they were 5 years old and able to do something they know, well, look both ways. So that still applies on trick or treat night. One thing that you might not think about is, depending on where you're doing your trick or treating at, alleys and corners, people backing out of their driveways, those kind of things are important. Kids get going and they want to go get the candy, and people are still driving around on those nights, especially when it gets dark. Pedestrian safety rules definitely apply.
And Officer Brown, did you have other ones that we really need to focus on this year?
If possible, let the kids trick or treat with maybe flashlights to actually illuminate themselves to motorists, so they can be safe. Also, choose appropriate costumes that the child can see out of, and that they are very visible for motorists to see.
Okay, yeah, thank you for those tips. Do you guys have any other tips that you'd like to emphasize for this year?
Being in a group is always safer, no matter if it's trick or treat night or not. But on trick or treat night, getting a group of friends together and going out and going around the neighborhoods to do trick or treat, it's fun, and it's also much safer.
Yeah, definitely. Officer Brown?
Yeah, we also recommend that the children resist the temptation of tasting the candy or eating candy as they're out trick or treating. That candy hasn't been inspected by a trusted adult. So we recommend that they wait till they get home and get that candy inspected by a parent or a trusted adult before they consume that candy.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Those are really great tips. Tips that I'm going to enforce this year with my toddler at home. Do you, either of you, could you just, if you had to give like a quick message to the public, can you guys each share something that you want to share with the public regarding Halloween safety?
Sure. Just, it's a fun night. Like I said, it's exciting, it's fun, but you have to be aware of what's going on around you. There's a lot of people out. It's from dusk and it's going to get dark by the time trick or treat night is over with. So it's important to be aware of what's going on around you with vehicles, with other people. There's bad people out there that like to do bad things. And if there's a lot of kids on the streets, they may be out roaming around looking to do those kind of things. So just be aware of who's around you, what you're doing, where you're at. Obviously, if you need help, call us. We're here. So just awareness is the main point for me.
That's great. Thank you. Officer Brown?
Just make sure the kids are choosing proper costumes and just enjoying themselves. Just, it's a fun night, it's one of the favorite holidays of the year. So just to go out and enjoy themselves, and make sure they choose costumes that make them visible to the public.
Yeah, those are great. Those are great tips. Thank you guys so much for informing us and giving us these tips, and just reminding us as parents, as people, of how to have fun, but also do it in a safe way. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm Josie Smith. Thanks for watching City Chat on CTV.